this is Natasha and welcome to today's video. So today I'm gonna do something I haven't tried it in a while. I'm gonna be using, actually I don't think I've ever done a video like this. I'm gonna be doing one stencil and 4 cards. So this is the stencil I'm gonna be using today. This is the small fishtail stencil from Dylusions. Okay, and I did take the panel there is a white textured cardstock panel. I showed you a little bit of the texture at the beginning of the video. Okay, so I'm gonna prep my paper. So I'm working on a glass mat. I'm actually working on the Tim Holtz glass mat, and I'm taking some removable adhesive, and FYI, you do not need to put that much adhesive. I don't know why I put so much. Okay, so that piece of paper isn't going anywhere on my glass mat. I'm taking some post-it tape and I attached my stencil to the front of my paper, and I'm taking a palette knife with some Nuvo mousse, a couple of Nuvo mousses. So how you say it? Mousses. Okay, anywho, so I'm taking these 2 colors. This one here on the left is the mother of pearl, and the other one is coral calypso. I'm gonna bring it in for you a little bit to see if you can see. Okay. And so I'm gonna be just adding that to my cardstock through the stencil. So I'm taking a little bit of the mother of pearl first, and then I'm just going to slather that thing on like frosting. And just want to really make sure, like, I'm trying to just do a nice thin layer, but I want to make sure that I get every like nook and cranny, get that stuff in everywhere, so you get a really nice crisp finished product. And you can always add more, and then at the end you can scrape the remainder off of the stencil and then put it back into the container. Okay, so I'm just gonna be pulling that down halfway, and then I'm going to be coming in with the coral color, and I just want to blend between these 2 colors. So I'm going to start below the mother of pearl color, and then I'm going to start trying to mix in between the 2 colors with my palette knife, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is how the product comes out. Okay, it looks a little messy, and then this is like the Christmas present right here, like unveiling the beautiful like finished product. I'm gonna run that under some warm water with soap and let my panel dry. I have a white card base here, and I did think I was gonna use this. Okay, so I'm gonna show it to you. Yada yada yada. It's a yay word die cut. I put some blue shimmer paper on it. I stacked it up a couple of times so it has dimension, but I'm not going to use that. So here's my panel. I cut it down a little bit just using a paper trimmer. Okay, beautiful shine, sheen, metallic, just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to show you here. I'm using the MFT Yay die. Okay, so there is oh, here you go. That's my sentiment strip, celebrating with you today. I will be using that, and that comes from the Tailored Expressions, the Simple Strips background. Okay, and please don't mind, there's background noise. It's pouring rain here. Okay, so adding my panel down with some liquid adhesive, and you see that right there. Boom, that's the point that I realized I am going to use an aqua cardstock because of my ring. It just looked, when I was pressing down on the card front, I was like, yeah, this looks gorgeous. So switch gears. I cut it out of aqua cardstock. I did add dimension. I just layered up a couple of dies, and then I'm just going to be placing that down with some liquid adhesive. I'm going to be using my handy dandy tweezers to do that. And then I'm just going to be adding my sentiment strip with the liquid adhesive as well. Okay, and simple. there you go. I did add a couple of the dewdrop sequence and a couple of crystal sequence just to kind of make it feel a little mermaidish, you know? Like if you think of a mermaid, you think of all this glittery, shiny things. Okay, so let's move on to the next card. So here I have my surface prepped again the same way I did the other one, the previous card, and I'm using distress inks. I'm using the Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. Using my Tailored Expression blending brushes. You can use whatever blending brushes you want, or any way you can get the ink onto this card front. So my card front, the paper is actually just Nina Solar White cardstock. I think this is like 85-pound or something cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to be blending on. This first one is the Twisted Citron. And these brushes go into all the little crevices of this really fine stencil. Like, it's easy. It's like so easy peasy. Okay, so I moved on to the Cracked Pistachio. And I want to just blend between the two, bringing it down a little bit. And I will go back. I am using the same brush. I'm just like wiping it off in between color changing on my towel. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Twisted Citron and just blend those two together. And then I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to go in with the Mermaid Lagoon. And this is like where magic happens, guys. It's just beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to just blend between those two, and then I'm going to go back in with the Cracked Pistachio and blend out. And then I'm going to come in with the Blueprint Sketch and try to blend those colors. Okay, and then here we go. The grand reveal. Love it. I love using stencils, and just like you don't really know what's under there till you actually pull it off. So that came out gorgeous. And so what I did was take it over to my splatter box. I took some gold shimmer mist that I love so much, spritzed it on my card, and that thing happened. Yep, big, huge splotch. I'm gonna just try to figure out how to cover it. I'm not gonna throw that piece away. So I cut this down with my wonky Borders die cut that I love so much. Obviously, it's in every card video I just watched, and it's in every card video. Okay, so that yay die cut that I was gonna use on the previous card, I'm gonna use it on this card. And my brilliant idea is to take that A and put it smack dab right on top of that big, huge, splotchy, glittery craziness. And it covers really well. And then I'm just going to put my other letters around. Adding my sentiment strip, I'm just going to be adding some liquid adhesive. And that one says sending you big hugs. And it's from the same Tailored Expressions, that same stamp set. Okay, and then I added some sequence in this mermaid sequence from Honeybee, and I believe that is it's a retired sequence pack, but something along that lines would look nice. Okay, so here we go again, and I prep my surface the same way, and I'm using this Sleigh Bells glitter. It's like a what is this? It's like a little dauber. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's like a shimmery, glittery dauber. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I am just pressing the dauber, and I am just smearing this shimmeriness all over. And it looks like a hot mess, but it is gorgeous. I'm going to bring it up closer so you can see just like the shimmer in that. It seriously just reminds me of a mermaid's tail. So I hit it with my heat tool. When it dried, it's even a lot impressive. Cut it down with the same border die cut, the wonky frames. I'm going to prep my surface. I prep my surface with the anti-static powder tool. I have this panel in my Misty and my sentiment on that side. I'm going to stamp it with some Versamark ink. And then I'm gonna heat, or I'm gonna add some black embossing powder and heat set that. And this is just, gosh, I just love this like whole stencil thing. This one came out amazing. There are a million fish in the sea, but you are a mermaid. This comes from a previous Simon Says stamp card kit. Came in, I think, last year. I added some kind of aqua and peach colored sequins, and look at that. OM goodness, loving it. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's move on to the last card. So this here, I'm using some watercolor cardstock. I'm going to prep it the same exact way I did the previous ones. I will be using on the cardstock, the Tim Holtz cardstock, there is like a smooth side and a more textured side. I'm using the more textured side. Okay, so this, like, I left it in here because I want you guys to see that, you know, it's a process, right, when you're creating. So here I took my aqua water pen, and I go in and I'm trying to like just get a nice surface like wet, and I just did that on the left hand bottom corner. I'm spraying, or not spraying, but I'm dabbing on some of that shimmer powder, and then I decided, okay, that's not working, so I'm just gonna come in with my spritzer, my bottle, and spritz some water on it, and that came out okay. I'm going to show you how that actually did come out. So I decided to go to the top right hand corner, and I just went in straight with the water, spritzed it, added some shimmer powder, and then I'm going to spritz it again, and you're gonna like automatically see that all, like a lot of the water goes underneath the stencil. So it's a learning process, right? We all have to learn, make mistakes. I'm trying to dry it. I'm gonna smush it around with my fingers. You know, it is what it is. And you know, if you've tried this before and you have a better way than what I'm doing right now, please let me know in the comments below. But that came out pretty much like a hot mess. So how I solved that is I dried it, and then I went in again with the stencil in the same exact spot, and I used this Gina K Glitz glitter gel, and I just used my palette knife and I did a nice sweep across it. So I like it. I think that this is very like mixed media looking card, so I think it's gorgeous. I used my card base. I have a like a gray watercolor cardstock that I put in the back, or on the background, and then I'm just gonna add this panel on, and I did cut out another yay die cut, stacked it up, and then I'm gonna do another sentiment strip. So those are from the same companies as the previous 3 cards. Okay, and then I just took my aqua shimmer pen. I'm going to add some shimmer just to that sentiment strip that says Pop, Fizz, Clink, Cheers. And then that's it. I'm going to call that one done. I think it's a fun, like mixed media kind of card. I've never really done that before, so I like it. I think it's great. Okay, so here are some still shots of the fun cards that I made, all 4 using one stencil. And this stencil is super easy to work with just because, you know, you can do so many techniques with it. You could, like I just showed you, you can ink it, you could use shimmer powders, you could use embossing, like mousse. There you could do so many things with it, and there was more things that you could do with this stencil, and it makes it easy for the background. And all you have to do is just a nice little sentiment, because the background stands out so much that you just add a little sentiment and you're done. Okay, so thanks for stopping by, for spending some time watching this video. I appreciate you stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. hit that like button and comment below. Let me know what you think about these cards, which ones you like, any, you know, anything. Follow me over on Instagram as well, and Wong Yuan Designs, and I will catch you on the next video. Aloha, a hui ho.